Hi, and welcome to this animation tutorial for beginners for Camtasia. Let's get straight to the point and have a look at the video we'll recreate together in this tutorial. It's a 20-second demo animation for an imaginary company.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera? At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered. Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo. Or update your dating apps and have people literally fall in love with the new you. The possibilities are endless. Sign up now and get started.
Alright, pretty awesome, right? And don't worry if this looks a bit overwhelming right now, I promise. You'll be able to do the exact same thing in Camtasia right after watching this video. Now, there are multiple ways to produce animation, and in this tutorial for beginners, I'll show you what I think is the absolute simplest, easiest, and fastest way. We will use something called stock animation, which is a library of ready-to-use assets that enable you to have access to professional level animations at your fingertips that you can have right now in Camtasia within minutes with literally drag and drop simplicity. However, if your goal is to become a professional animator and build all of these yourself from scratch, that requires around 1,000 hours to acquire those skills, and this tutorial is not for you. And unfortunately, that process is not even possible in Camtasia. However, if you like to skip all that boring stuff though and get straight to the end result right now instead of months from now, if you like to have the same quality of animations right now after watching this video without any previous experience or animation skills, then please keep watching. And as a bonus, I'll provide all the stock animation assets from this tutorial for you for free so that you can also follow along in Camtasia. Download link in the description. Alright, so here we are in Camtasia. And first things first, whenever you want to start an animation project, you obviously need to first come up with an idea. From the idea, you start writing a script. From the script, you start recording a voiceover. And if you're going to use stock animation, you also need to go online and find a stock animation library and find specific stock animation clips that are going to work very well with the specific message or scenes in your script. Now, I've already done all of that. And also, if you want to learn how to write highly persuasive scripts, or if you want to learn how to record professional voiceovers, drop a comment and let me know, and I'll make videos on that as well. So for now, I have all the assets that I need here in this folder, so I will just select all of them and drag and drop them here into Camtasia. All right, now let's make this full screen. All right, cool. So first things first, I like to start editing a video by first adding the voiceover, because everything in the video will work around the voiceover, because you want to time every single piece of stock animation to the voiceover. So I'll just add the voiceover down there, and right under the voiceover, I will add some music as well. And as you can see, the music is a little bit long, so let's zoom out so we can see all of it and trim it a little bit like this. And now I can just zoom in like this. And right now the music is going to be quite loud.
Tired of taking selfies?
So it's like really hard to hear the voiceover. So I'll select the music track down here, and here on the right for gain, let's just say, I don't know, 16%.
Are you stressed in front of the camera? At Photoshoot.
All right, so much better, because you want to be able to hear the voiceover more than you hear the music. All right. So first thing that you notice in any sort of audio track is you see those little things that are called a waveform, which is really, really useful because this shows you when someone is speaking and when someone is making a pause. So here at the beginning, there's no one speaking. There's like a pretty big pause. Actually, I'm going to trim that. I don't like that. All right. And it's going to show you that this is a pause. There's another sentence, basically another scene, and then another sentence, which is another scene, another pause here, and so on. This is going to be really useful later on when we time the stock animation to the voiceover. So let's see, the first sentence says,
tired of taking selfies?
All right, so if you remember from that video, tired of taking selfies, the first scene that I start with is this woman right here that is taking a selfie. Keep project at 25, yes. So this is a clip of a woman taking a selfie and moving around a little bit. But because we only use a couple of seconds in, maybe 1-2 seconds in this scene, I want the best part of it. So here in the beginning, she's kind of just sitting there not doing anything. I want my scene to start right here. So I'll trim the beginning, move this all the way to here. And the voiceover kind of ends the scene here. So let's cut this out here. And let's see what's next.
Are you stressed in front of the camera?
All right. So let's see where we have this same character doing a completely different action, a different pose. It's this one right here called Stressed. And I like how she's moving her hands to her head. She's super stressed. And then it ends around here. Now let's have a quick look actually and see how the timing is so far.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera?
All right, so I kind of like that, but one thing that really stands out to me right now compared to our video is that the background is black, and I don't really want to use that because it just doesn't look very aesthetic. So let's change the background in Camtasia, and in order to do that, let's go here to annotations, and I think it's under here, yeah, where it says shapes, this one, and I'll just grab this one right here, drag and drop it on my timeline. And right now it's, oops, let's go here. So now it's kind of small. So I will just drag it at the corners to make it as big as my scene, as my frame basically. All right. And I want to move it, oops. I want to move it under those stock animation clips. So I will select the stock animation and make sure to move them one track on top, just so I can move this background under the stock animation. And I'll make this background as long as the video, let's say this long. Okay, so now we have a white background, but I don't actually want it to be white. So make sure you have the background selected, the shape. And here on the right, there's a option that says fill, solid. And if you click on that, you can change the color a little bit. So I want something like really light and soft, maybe like a bit of a blue like this. Yeah. All right, something like this. Just adds a little bit of color, but not too much. I like this. All right, so let's proceed. So here the voiceover says,
At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered.
all right, so normally in a video, this is where, let's say, you would introduce the logo of the company. We don't have a logo because obviously this is a fake company that doesn't exist. It's just a demo. So I wanted to use this cute icon of a camera. I really like it, and I think it just makes sense for a photo shoot application or website. I think it's really, really good. Again, add it to the timeline, trim it a little bit. And actually now if I select it, if I go here on the right on controls, here on the left we have the video controls, here we have the audio. I want to actually use the scale to make it a little bit smaller like this. And then I will move it a little bit higher like this, because underneath I want to add a piece of text that says the name of the company. So the way to do that in Camtasia is by going here to annotations, and let's see where it was. I think it's here, callouts. And I'll just use something very, very basic. So I'll just use this very simple basic text, add it here, make sure it's as long as this scene, and now I'll just position it correctly down here. Okay, so let's go to the text settings. For the font, yeah, I do prefer Montserrat. That's a really good one. Let's make it bold. For the size, yeah, 96 looks good. And for the color, let's go ahead and make it black so it actually stands out, because we need some contrast. And now if I double click on it, I can actually start typing, what was it, photoshoot123.com. But now it kind of changed the font size, so let me just select it again, go here and make it 96 again. All right.
At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered.
All right, so that's kind of cool, but there's no animation for the text. So let's add a quick little animation for the text, and that can be done here under behaviors. And let me see, I want this one fly in. Let's see. And actually here shows me some settings, speed. Let's just make sure that's 100% speed, because this is quite short. It's only like 2 seconds or something. So let's see.
At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered.
But the thing is, I don't want it to animate out at the end. I want it to stay on screen and just cut. So to do that, again, I have this clip selected for the text basically. And here where it says out, which is the transition, the out transition, the style right now is set to fly out. So I'm just going to select none. And now if I play that back.
Camera? At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered. Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo.
All right, so I think that looks really, really good. So the next scene, we're talking about LinkedIn and adding a professional photo. So for this scene, I thought it would be cool to actually have two items on screen. So one is the logo of LinkedIn like this. And the other one is the same character, but now dressed a little bit different, like more formal like this. Just to make it a little bit more dynamic, right? Because you don't want your video to be boring. So I'm just going to position those on screen. Use the scale setting to just make this a little bit smaller. And just make sure everything is very well positioned on screen. And of course, now it's time to trim them as well. And let's see what comes next.
Or update your dating apps and have people literally
update your dating apps. So I thought it would be cool to have a very similar thing where I have an icon on one side and the character on the other side. So let's try that. And then we have this nice, cute heart. I'm going to add it on a separate track here. So let's see, here we had the character on the right. So in the next scene, just to make it more dynamic, I'm going to move the character on the left. So grab the icon. You can use the scale property. You can also just grab it at the end here, actually, if you want to resize it like this. Just whatever works best for you. So for this one, actually, as you can see, the first second or so, she doesn't really use her phone. She starts using her hand on the phone around here. So that's where I want my scene to start. So I'll just trim that beginning and move it like this here. And let's see, I think according to the voiceover, there's a pause here. So this is where I want the scene to end. All right, trim everything. And now let's have a look and see. Actually, let's have a look and see what we have all the way from the beginning.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera? At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered. Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo. Or update your dating apps and have people literally fall in love with the new you.
All right, so I think it looks great so far. For the next scene, because we're talking about multiple people, and just to make everything more dynamic, because I think that's the name of the game, you want it to be very, very nice and fun to look at and engaging, right? So for the next part, I actually have the same animation of multiple different characters falling in love. So it's those three right here. Let me just add all of them. But actually, if I do this, it just adds them one after another. So let me just zoom out because I actually want them to be on top of each other. All right. So right now, you can only see one because they're literally on top of each other. So I'm just going to move them out of the way like this. Actually, maybe keep this one in the middle, just for variety. There you go. Okay. So it's this animation of them falling in love. You can see they have hearts in their eyes. But I like this part in the middle where they kind of lean in like this. So that's where I want my scene to start. All right, so because of that, I will just trim the part in the beginning for all three of them. And I'll select all three and move them in the right position to start that scene. And also it kind of ends here, so I will just trim the ending as well.
Apps and have people literally fall in love with the new you. The possibilities are endless.
All right, I think that looks awesome. So next, we're saying the possibilities are endless. So we're getting to the end of the video. It's time for a little, oops, I don't know what happened there. It's time for a little celebration. We have the same main character cheering, being happy. Let's see. And then what do we have next?
Sign up now and get started.
All right, so the call to action at the end is sign up now to get started. So I think we can just use the same structure that we have here with the logo, let's say, and this sort of text and animation. So I will just select the two elements, the text and the icon. Right click, copy, and then I'll go here and I'm going to right click, paste media at playhead. All right, so it's not exactly perfectly placed, so I'll just move it there manually. And the voiceover was saying something like sign up now to get started. So let's go to the text and say sign up now, exclamation mark. And let's see, let's trim it at the end a little bit to make it shorter. And let's check out the ending.
The new you. The possibilities are endless. Sign up now and get started.
So that's pretty cool, but I would like to add an audio fade out as well for the end, just because the music kind of just ends abruptly. So I'm going to go here on the bottom. This is our audio track. And go here on the left where it says audio effect. And then there's this thing called fade out. Very simple. Just drag and drop it here. And as you can see, it adds a little fade out. So just from here all the way to there. So let's play that back.
Now and get started.
Much smoother, way better. All right, so let's see how this whole thing looks from the beginning. We literally spent, I don't know, like maybe 10 minutes or so to create 20-second animation. It looks really professional, and it wasn't even that complicated. It was all very straightforward, very simple, drag and drop simplicity. So let's play it back and see what we have.
Tired of taking selfies? Are you stressed in front of the camera? At photoshoot123.com, we got you covered. Update your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo, or update your dating apps and have people literally fall in love with the new you. The possibilities are endless. Sign up now and get started.
All right, so I think this looks amazing. And we only spent 10 minutes to produce this. As you can see, it doesn't involve any animation skills. It doesn't even require any professional editing skills. Everything that you saw me do right here is very basic editing. I just dragged and dropped stuff on the timeline. I trimmed the beginning or the end just to make sure the timing is correct. And then maybe I added multiple things in the same scene and moved them around a little bit just to create a very balanced composition. That's all that you need. And this is something that literally anyone can do as well with the help of stock animation. Now, the big question is, where can you find stock animation? You might be able to find some animation clips here and there on big stock platforms, but those are rare because they usually specialize in stock footage shot with a camera, so for them, animation is not even an afterthought. The only place online dedicated exclusively to stock animation is Videoplasty.com, the world's only animation-first stock platform. Full disclosure, I'm Edward Stunga, founder of Videoplasty. We built Videoplasty with one single goal in mind: to make animation easy, simple, and accessible to everyone, regardless of budget or previous animation experience. That's why we build and curate professionally animated assets that you can have access to with drag and drop simplicity, compatible with all of your favorite video editing software. Have a look on the website. We have plenty of characters, icons, scenes, and a lot more. Our items are generally sold individually, but are also available in bundles at a massively discounted price. Pricing is also very simple and straightforward. You can either pay per item, or you can choose a monthly subscription with download credits or unlimited downloads. Use the discount code in the description to get 25% off your first order. This was Edward Stunga, founder of Videoplasty.com. If you watched all the way to the end, you are awesome. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and until next time, stay creative.